will continue. He says that there is a broader issue regarding the coverage and what it mandates. Joining me now to discuss it more, Democratic Senator Shaheen of New Hampshire. Senator, thank you so much for joining me.
Nice to be with you.
I have to tell you, for many men and women, they see the comments by members of the Senate, and they do think about the number, the ratio of how few women are there to represent the voice of women compared to the men who are in Congress, and especially specifically the Senate here. What do you make of the comments regarding gender from your colleagues in the Senate today?
Well, I think the vote, as you pointed out, was 51-48, so there were an awful lot of men who voted to table the Blunt Amendment today. I hope that we can now put this issue aside. We can get back to the bill that we're supposed to be working on, which is highway funding, investing in our infrastructure. This will put people back to work. That's what I think my constituents and people across this country want us to do. They want us to address this economy so we can get people working again and making people feel better about their futures and their prosperity. And I think it's way past time when we should be discussing whether women can have access to contraceptives or not.
Well, we just heard from Kelly O'Donnell. She reported that House Speaker John Boehner, and we have a statement from Senator Blunt as well, reiterating that this is not over. Mr. Boehner wanting some kind of bipartisan deal here. What do you believe he means by that? What would be a bipartisan deal in your eyes?
I have no idea. I think the fact is the president's compromise dealt with the religious concerns. We've heard a number of Catholic organizations, including the Catholic Health Association, come out in support of that. I think the issue here is the government should not be coming between a woman and her doctor. These are very personal decisions that should be made by women with their doctors and with their families, and government does not have a role in this.
But one more time, I want to reiterate, Senator Blunt says the issue won't go away until there is a broader religious exemption to the coverage mandate. As you pointed out, your constituents would like for you and the other senators and members of Congress to move on and talk about jobs, but for him, this is not going away, and for his many supporters, including those of which Kelly O'Donnell said that was there today, who were there today, who are constituents perhaps in other areas.
Well, again, what we've seen is that laws around the country that have required insurance coverage for contraceptives, like the one we have in New Hampshire,
right,
which I signed into law in 1999 when I was governor, has been working 12 years without any objections. Now suddenly, because we're in a political season and those on the other side of the aisle think that they can make hay with this political issue, they're raising it. I think this should be an issue about policy. It ought to be about what's in the best interest of women's health. That's the basis on which the Institute of Medicine made their decision. Again, the president and his proposal has, I think, dealt with the religious exemption. He's exempted 335,000 churches. He's dealt with the issue for affiliated hospitals and universities. So I think this is all about politics at this point, and it's time to move on to jobs.
All right, Senator Shaheen, thank you so very much for your time. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And coming up, by the way, Mitt Romney's answer